Morning, guys. Happy Wednesday morning. So, kind of wanted to follow up a little bit on yesterday's video with the thievery and talk about something else that is of concern to all of us, not just as necessarily preppers, but as just Americans. Okay. We all know what's going on at the border, okay, with the caravans of people coming up from Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, whatever it would be. And I mean, that you'd have to be blind to not know what's going on, okay? The issue that is a little bit, well, I won't say more concerning, but is also very concerning is the reverse flow. Okay. And not that you have people scrambling to get out of the United States and into Mexico, unless you're, of course, Cher or Rosie O'Donnell or something like that, and I'm moving to Canada. On a serious note, the issue is the human trafficking that is going from the United States to Mexico, South America, whatever it would be. Okay. And, it's something that I kind of look at a little bit. I don't pay a ton of attention to it, but I got an email yesterday and I wanted to read it to you and kind of give you some details when I went digging a little bit. So here's the email. Okay. I live about 10 minutes from the U.S.-Mexico border in Arizona. I'm guessing Nogales. Okay, somewhere around there. I know Nogales because when I was at Fort Huachuca, we went to Nogales all the time, even though it was 70 miles away. And while, yes, we see more folks from South America walking around and crime is going up substantially, one unforeseen side effect of opening the borders that most don't consider is who is going out. Human trafficking is a real issue, and young girls especially are a target for those who cross the border heading back into Mexico. Or, I kid you not, the girls are kidnapped and taken back to Mexico through underground tunnels dug beneath houses. Yes, that's a real thing. And yeah, I know that is, because that's how they smuggle a lot of drugs in. What kills me is Biden and his bleeding hearts care so much for the kids coming in, but no one of influence is really concerned about the kids going out. How this is exacerbated by an open border is imagine you have someone with no U.S. ties coming in because he's just a handsome young man, not a tough-looking tattooed cartel member. This guy, though, is from a group who seduces young women and kidnaps them. He earns their trust, lures them to a house, and bam, never heard from again. Same goes for young girls, luring their friends. This is a serious issue down here, but no one talks about it, and more folks are winding up missing. Now, it's a very interesting situation, okay? I mean, we know, the drug industry, drugs come up, money goes back down, okay? It's got to go some way. But with everything that's going on in the world right now, human trafficking, and I'm not talking Jeffrey Epstein type stuff, okay? But I'm talking about kids getting grabbed from schools or whatever and taken down, boys and girls, from the research I was doing. The girls as the sex slaves, if you will, and the boys as the forced labor. Now, here's where everybody, and I was kind of shocked too, all right, about this is where everybody's mistaken, is where this is coming from, okay? What the states are that are losing children and having them picked up. Now, on a sheer numbers basis, California makes sense, okay? There's a lot of traffic coming in across the border, everything like that. But so here's the top 10 states per capita, if you will, okay, on where kids are going missing and wind up being trafficked as human beings. Nevada being number one, seven and a half kids per 100,000, okay? Now, Nevada, okay, might make a little bit of sense. Number two is going to shock the hell out of you. Mississippi, 5 per 100,000. Number 3, Florida. Okay, now how they're getting from Florida, I have no idea. Okay, so obviously they've got to travel around, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, into Texas, it's quite a haul. Georgia is number 4. Okay, again, same trip as Florida. Ohio is number 5. Now figure that one out. You're coming from the Midwest. Number 6, I'll throw you even worse. Delaware. They're kidnapping kids from Delaware and taking them to Central America and South America. Number 7 on a per capita basis is California. Number 8 is Missouri. Number 9 is Michigan. And number 10 is Texas. Now, if you think, like I said in the video, that having plants stolen or lawnmowers stolen or yard ornaments people have said were stolen, I mean, all sorts of different things in the comments yesterday, it would really suck if your car got stolen. Okay, and that happens to people too. Now imagine if your kid or your grandkid was stolen. Okay, your plants, your lawnmower, your garden gnome, your car can be replaced. Insurance is going to pay out. The very last thing you want to have happen is insurance payout on one of your kids. Okay. It's very, 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 very important for everybody. Okay. Family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, whatever it is, parents, obviously, to have talks with their children, young ones, of course, but teenagers, those ones that never want to listen, okay? Go explain to them what is going on in the world right now. And if you live in any of the 10 states I just mentioned, especially, sit down and have a conversation with your kids. I'll link this so you can show your kids the highest human trafficking numbers, because all of a sudden a kid goes missing and sure, their face is on a milk carton and, there's some flyers put up and everybody has the vigil where you're holding candles or whatever it is. And your daughter or your son may be halfway down in Central America somewhere, for all you know, or South America, going through hell on earth. So I wanted to put this out there, have that conversation. A lot of, we all talk about having conversations with other people about prepping, okay? But as police forces are getting defunded, as, we're having more and more people coming in, illegally, which just means more and more people that could feasibly be coming up here to grab a kid and go on back. These are things that you need to have a conversation. This is a serious situation, that none of us ever want to have to face. So I know it's not exactly the most exciting video, but with what's going on in the world right now, the gangs, the cartels, they're getting more and more and more empowered because nobody trusts the government. Nobody, Border Patrol or the FBI or, Customs is Border Patrol. If nobody's trusting any of these people to do their jobs, that's just all the easier for somebody to get snagged up and, poof, out the door they go, across the border, under a tunnel, whatever it would be, in the trunk of a car. Notice if you've ever gone down to Mexico, you got to go through the gates to get into the United States and, what do you declare and everything like that? You go into Mexico, you just drive right on in, okay? They don't care. So, they're certainly not going to stop and look and see if you've got somebody, tied up and gagged in the trunk of your car. So just a word to the wise, have that conversation with your young kids, teenagers, even your early 20-somethings, teach them a little bit about situational awareness because, like I said, you don't want to find out they're one of the ones on the milk carton next time you go to the store. Have a good Wednesday, guys. Pinball out.